Welcome to Legal Matters. We thank God for another day. As soon as you join us, share the program for us. Today we have something interesting coming your way. One share a day, keep the devil away. One share a day, keep ignorance away. Yes, money is blood. What do we have for you today? Revocation of leave to remain, or revocation of indefinite leave to remain. If you are facing revocation, what is it that you can do? How to challenge revocation and grounds for revocation. That is the topic today. We will also be looking at the types of orders that the family court can make, especially if your relationship has broken down and the other partner is denying you the right to be involved in your children's lives. Or perhaps you want to apply for a specific issue order to stop the other parent from doing one thing or the other. Child arrangement orders and also prohibited steps orders. Justice and law, if you contact us, we can help you with these applications. And when I say prohibited steps orders, child arrangement orders, and specific issue orders, what does that mean? What do we mean by that? Share and share and share until you can share no more. And that's why they brought me when you masum na muntie nie and some dey be cause of kromwa and necessarily you measure the difference between a sham marriage, allegation of a sham marriage, and marriage of convenience. It's a measure and necessarily revocation of leave to remain. People should get ready because you are going to be hearing some surprises. Obit me a fed up. Also, me bam didn't be a cromwa. They said cannot to. I'm here the knuckle fee. Obit me the baba cromwa. Was make up mammy to make up papa to I'm an incredible say. Obedient Nigeria enter say, obedient crew enter say. Was make up to as an incredible. So as soon as you join us, share the program for us. As soon as you join us, you share for us. Sika from Moja. Oh here, and ya the power te. Oh here, and ya a dambo. As soon as you join us, share the program. Yes. Obika chose sika ya de pa. Onya kono mpo ye. Money oh, money. Money, oh, money. Go and earn some. Yes, what are we bringing today? Today we are going to be looking at revocation of leave to remain and also indefinite leave to remain. Today we are going to be looking at grounds why leave to remain or indefinite leave to remain can be revoked by the Secretary of State. It's very important that we understand this because there has been so many cases whereby, individuals are facing revocation of their visas, not because of their own doing per se, but maybe because of something that they might have said, and also the means in which they use to obtain their indefinite leave to remain. Today, I'm going to be giving so many examples of circumstances, situations where individuals have lost their indefinite leave to remain, and they have been deported from the United Kingdom. Some people have been removed from the United Kingdom because not by a stranger, but someone closer to them, grasping on them, or perhaps making allegations against them, such as rape, a serious offense, where innocent people have been convicted of a serious criminal offense. Following prosecution and imprisonment, they have been sentenced to imprisonment after imprisonment, facing deportation or have faced deportation. Like I said, this is a very, very serious area that I think there is a need for us to talk about in this program, because we are serious in what we do. And we don't talk about this because we take joy out of it. We don't talk about this because we want to scare people. That is far from the truth. For me, it's the lesson that we learn. I love history. I like history because it teaches us the future. Someone will say history is the study of past events. It does not end there. For me, history is the study of past events and in assisting us to make the right decisions in the future. Because once you study the past event, something that has happened, then you need to ask yourself, what lessons can we learn from the history so that the same mistakes does not occur in the future? So while history may be the study of past events, it is also used as a tool to implement and also to make right decisions for the future. And therefore, talking about revocation today, It is not to scare anyone, but to help us to understand the system and also to help us to make right decisions in the future. So it's very, very important that we do what we do understand this. We will also be talking about the types of orders that the family court can make, because we've come across a lot of cases of late where individuals' visa is dependent on their involvement individuals what do we call it, the existing or the continuation of their visas is dependent on their relationship with their children. However, whenever there is a breakdown of relationship, not all cases, some cases, the other parent will then focus on damaging the other parent. How did they do this? They will try their best to cut off the contact between the parent with 2.5 years visa, whose visa is dependent on his relationship with his child or her child, so that when it comes to the renewal, they will not be able to get any evidence at all to show that they are involved in their child's life or their children's life. And by so doing, if they are unable to prove evidence of relationship or ongoing relationship, their visas by default will not be renewed. And a lot of people are in this limbo. And unfortunately, it's not every lawyer that does immigration law also do family law. So if you are in a situation that you need someone, a lawyer, to do both the immigration and the family law, then you must come to justice and law solicitors. If you are with a solicitor that only does immigration law but not family law, and you are caught in this situation, then of course you got to come to justice and law solicitors so that we can help you with the family law case. That's what I can say for that. And there are various, orders that you can apply to court. And for example, we will come to it, but this is just the what do you call it, a taster of what is coming today. I will come to that, Mr. Kwame. Kwame has put a question up, so I will come to that. Let me just finish the introduction and I will answer your question before I start the program. So if you just give me some few minutes. So by all means, come to Justice and Law. We'll be able to help you in your applications for specific issue orders, application for child arrangement orders, and also prohibited steps orders. If you want any of these orders, by all means get in touch with Justice and Law Solicitors 0207-993-5976 or on our mobile phone, which is 07538-969-589. Get in touch with us, because Justice and Law, we always believe that through operation of the law, we can achieve justice for you. So it's very, very important that we cover this area so that people understand. We will also be looking at Home Office new announcement. Home Office to offer extensions to people denied settlement. How can this happen? I will also explain that to you. Time permits, we'll be looking at marriage of convenience and sham marriages. You need to understand the distinction, because when people say marriage of convenience, if I'm not afraid, I will say every marriage is for convenience, because you are there to enjoy something, and therefore if it's not for that convenient, do you think that you marry the person? So, and therefore arguably, legally, arguably, every marriage is a marriage of convenience. But when it becomes a sham marriage, that is where it breaks the law. And today we are going to explain and try to give analysis about the distinction between the two. And if you are accused of any of this, how you can fight your case back. This is Justice and Law Solicitors. We are based at Unit 35B 49 Ephra Road, Brixton, London, SW21BZ. We are based in the United Kingdom. When it comes to UK immigration law, everyone knows that there is only one place, and that is Justice and Law Solicitors. Like I said, we believe that through operation of the law, we can achieve justice. Mr. Positive, this song goes for you. While this song is playing, I will share the program to all those on my contact list because they need prompt to be able to listen to the program. Before we go to the main program, I will answer Mr. Papa Kwame's question for him. He did ask whether life in the UK test and the English test, whether it expires. Life in the UK test simply does not expire. It is life, and therefore it's got no expiration date. Now, let's look at the English test. The English test certificate has got controversy surrounding it. Because when you go to the website of the Home Office and sometimes the English test providers website, they tell us that it's valid for 2 years. It's valid for 2 years. However, when you go into Home Office policies, they also say that if you have used the same English test, if it's, for example, B1, in your previous applications for maybe extension or maybe for indefinite and you are going for naturalization, despite the fact that it's valid for 2 years, they will still accept it. This is where confusion comes in, because I myself have had a big fight with the Home Office about this, where their policies say one thing and the test guidelines also say something different. So I submitted a client's application about 2 years ago, and the client will testify to this. And we use an English test certificate which was used for the extension to get the indefinite. When it comes to naturalization, they wouldn't accept it. And therefore, I had to pull that out. And I had to fight them and fight them and fight them. And they were still insisting that if my client does not do the English test, they're going to refuse the application. So on that occasion, I told my client, it's not worth it. Just go and do the English test again and let's just get this out of the way. Strange enough, another client in the same situation, we submitted it and they accepted it. So sometimes when people ask me this question about the English test certificate, I cannot give definite answer. But all that I can do is to explain about the possibilities. Because the Home Office guidelines clearly makes it very clear. If the English certificate is to the acceptable standard and it has been used in previous application, and even if it had expired, it's more than 2 years old, and you are making subsequent application and the test is a requirement, you can still use the test certificate. But sometimes it goes in, some of the caseworkers do not understand, and they will just argue and argue and argue. Whilst, you can win your case in court, the question that I ask myself, this headache, is it worth it? The cost involved and the stress involved just to prove your point in court that you are right? I always tell my client, look, sometimes you have to choose your battles. There are certain fights that you can never win. Even if you win, you lose. Yes, get this. There are certain fights that you cannot win. Even if you win, you still lose. And therefore, it is not worth fighting. Like Bob Marley said, in this world that we live in, everybody is going to hurt you. But it is up to you to choose those who are worth suffering for. So for me, when it comes to things like that, I want my client to have their peace of mind. I want to save them money. And therefore, for that reason, I will do the best I can, advise them correctly, properly, even though legally they may be right. But sometimes you need to win the moral wars, because it brings you peace of mind. And therefore, it's worth just doing it. Because the test only costs about £150, if I'm not mistaken. But if you allow them to refuse your application, to take the case to court alone, you pay court fees of £140. £10 difference. Not only that, your life is also going to be put on hold. The lawyer that is dealing with the case is also going to charge you thousands of pounds. That aside, the stress and the risk of being asked to come and stay home until your problem is resolved with the immigration from your worker, from your employers, add all stress and unnecessary headache. So it's for this reason that sometimes you might have to apply common sense. Forget about anything else. Like they say, common sense is common, but it's not common to common people. And therefore, for me, where you need to apply common sense, my friend, apply common sense and have your peace of mind. Anyone can go to law school, but what you are taught in law school is not the same as common sense. You understand? So when you are doing your cases, you need to go to a lawyer that applies the law and common sense as well. Because at the end of the day, you can know all the law that you want, but if you don't have common sense, you will perish. Common sense is common, but not common to common people. And therefore, one have to apply gumption, common sense, to be able to achieve wonders for their clients. And we always thank God that Lord Almighty has given justice and law a lot of common sense. It's for this reason that we keep pushing, we keep improving, we keep succeeding, and we keep achieving. And it has been possible because of you. So we thank you all, and we're going to play this song. Share the program whilst we play this song, and as soon as we come back, we continue the program. We are going to be talking about revocation. Today is going to be an eye-opener. About 2-3 weeks ago, I said it here. How you got your papers, believe in me. Zip it and never use it as a subject of discussion. Take it to your grave. Because what we are going to talk about today, maybe you understand me better. I remember this gentleman came to me, Mr. AJ. I said, hey, lawyer. And smana kedi na no dream pow. No so AJ no kore papa. Do ka nyina. I agree with you. The unfair gem wonte wase no, wonte wase. Obeka sensembe na woken. Yes, sebe yem na nanom penifo atenase mpo sentia moa. So we read here. Ose wunya asempa menye de menka nkyere wo yere. Se wunya asempa menka nkyere wo yere. Eno enkyere se sebe emene uyire eni nkomo anase menka asem enkyere wo yere. Nembom, there is a fine line. Ewo ensem bi wo honma ye de ko yadaka menemu. Sebe medium kasa asem wi. Enkomo a meni me yire bedi mini minu ani sa nkomo no. Ana enkomo a mini minu abedi mini me yire ni ani sa nkomo no. Because wudi kokwa wudi mu wudi eburu ye vanfra nye sabenya ye miare. It's as simple as that. Ensem bi wo honma eye ebusia tentensem. Ana ensem bi wo honma eye immediate family nsem enti efani mi enu mfra. Wo de fra de bi ofie ntokwa na be wo. It's very, very important. If someone chooses to share something with you, fine. If they decide not to share it, you have to respect that. So when it comes to papers, I always say this. If at all possible, you take it to your grave. Because revocation. They are facing revocation. And revocation, if you look at section 76, Home Office, they have the right to revoke a visa. And on what basis can they revoke a visa? And you're beginning in Asemwa. Now, my career, I believe so you understand exactly where I'm coming from. So it's very, very important that we learn every day. Many a times people think that they've got their papers, why should they learn? Be very, very careful. Education is infinity, it never ends. We have to keep learning because that is the only way that we can improve ourselves, we can improve our lives, and we can enlighten people around us. Because if you live in the dark and everyone is running in the dark, we will all fall into the empty pit. And therefore, you have to be the light within your family. You have to be the light within your friends group. You have to be the light so that wherever you go, you can shine. So having common sense and having also formal educational sense, it helps. No one is perfect. We all make mistakes. but it helps you to improve as a person. And no man is an island. We all also learn from each other. So for me, it's very, very important that we do what? We do learn every day, because you never know tomorrow, you know, what is around the corner, you know, so we have to learn. Positive, this song goes for you. Or say a new way, a yenide,
migraine,
or say a new yenide. Now, Simon so the Thomas and a boy, or Sisika a moja. Sikanya abua, ate, Sikay. Sika de Copebio, na a who here. We miska, a busiantanasa cry and fan count. And Sika, a who here. Yamon pie, me and Pebby, Yamon pie and a yebi. Said I yes, Kasa, Yano, if you drew bedroom. Now, ene. Titrim, Yabaka revocation was now may explain the BB friend sham marriage, any marriage of convenience. So what the concept in Asia, if you say 10 biano, so we the code to be put a boa, ubitimi I a defender one. Because a one tiasie na that she be a semi koto kwem, na se kubusa wasem na can wrong tenor, and shana and also I the assem idea. Abro. Enti ene and one idea bano, I know they. Ano eden pa enti no obia enye de enti anase onfa na fidie ne ntoa e be possible a on share program no so ema na busiafo anase ni fiefo na obia so enya ebi na onye de na onti na enyom ne mpese bebo beto twini mutan obobo ene opewo mpo ababa yes. I didn't want a hosa, but I don't see or say, money is blood. You can't moja. Yes. No. Bear with me now, and you're not sure what you say. Come on. Okay. And you're imperceptible, but you dear, bro. Okay. All right, we be born. Be born. You can't say be born no. Share the program for us. We are about to take off. Set off. Let's use this time to share the program. Soon as you join us, this is the Legal Matters, the best legal program in the diaspora. Beating and coaching. Money is blood. Stop complaining about money and go and earn some. One kind of place you can Yes, that is part of my sisika moja. Yes, stop complaining about money and go and earn some, because money is blood. Yes, let's go to the program and let's see how sometimes money can influence people and turn nasty and turn brutal and turn wicked, regardless of who the person may be. So many cases have come before us over the years, and it's about time that we highlight this area for people to know exactly what's going on. Yes, so now let's look at section 76 of revocation. And as the name suggests, revocation means cancelling individual's visa, whether it's indefinite, whether it is leave to remain application. The powers by the Home Office to cancel, or powers by the Secretary of State to cancel individuals' visas, can be found as section 76 of the Nationality, Immigration and Asylum Act of 2002. So that means if you have a visa, if it's permanent residency, if it is indefinite leave to remain, if it is what is commonly known as 2.5 years / 250, the Home Secretary can cancel those type of visas. The question therefore is, what is rationale behind these powers? According to the Home Office, the rationale behind these powers are as follows: to make it easy to deport foreign criminals. How can this happen? Say, Lawyer Darko, I have indefinite leave to remain. I happen to punch someone. I have been convicted of the offense and have been prosecuted, and I've gone through the court system. I've been sentenced to 4 years or more imprisonment. I am a holder of a Ghanaian passport or Ghanaian citizenship, and I have indefinite leave to remain. As we all know, there is rules about foreign criminals. If you're a foreigner and you commit a criminal offense that leads to imprisonment or prison sentence from 1 year to 4 years, and from 4 years and over, you will qualify to be considered as a foreign criminal, and therefore you can then be deported. So it's very, very important. Now I'm getting confused. People are giving me signs. Lawyer Brofone also can you key. The problem is, we say it in P, some people say lawyer key also can brofo, and therefore it makes it very, very difficult to do the two at the same time. But I will try the best that I can, and where possible, mix it up so that we all get a bit of understanding and we get flavor, we get something out of the program. And I beg, if the brofono is being too much, just indicate on the screen. I say, hey, lawyer, now meeting me imbalance, and then penny for the old chasano, when you say the chia, because sometimes so take pregana, I am now a bit too much. You don't realize, but these things do happen. Me can make penny pie, me pill pie, can make can you key, because you have Crawford, and that's where the problem is. Now you think I'm boying. Unfortunately, we also have, justice and law is more, international. We also have, clients from Gambia, Jamaica, and so on and so forth. And they also follow this program. So, and therefore, sometimes it makes it so difficult. When you are sitting here, you are thinking, you are talking, you're operating machine, and sometimes you are referring to your notes, and you have all this throwing at you. It makes it very, very difficult sometimes for us to work out whether what we are doing is right, or how we are approaching it, whether it's right or no. But like I said, if it's being too much on one side, just indicate to me on the screen, and by all means, it will remind us to come back and, mix it up. Like Abigail I just stated, mix it up, so we will do the best to mix it up. So the rationale behind the Home Office says is to be able to deport foreign criminals easily, because if you're a foreigner and you commit a criminal offense that has attracted imprisonment, then of course it can be revoked under Section 76 of the Nationality Immigration Act of 2002. So that is one of the rationales. 2, to ensure that war criminals and perpetrators or offenders of serious crime cannot avoid the consequences of actions simply because they have been granted indefinite leave to remain. So therefore, before even you commit the offense, you know the consequences, that if you're a foreign criminal, you can be deported, notwithstanding the fact that you held indefinite leave to remain. Home Office third justification is to instill instill public confidence in the immigration system. So if someone is a citizen of this country and someone is a foreigner and the person commits a serious criminal offense and the person is deported after imprisonment, it will bring confidence to the public that this country, we don't tolerate, crime or criminal offense or criminal activities, especially from foreigners. I'm not saying that only foreigners commit a crime. Hey, crime, everybody commits a crime, but there are different levels of crime. So we need to understand that. Rebecca, good morning to you. No problem at all. And also to remove those in above categories, the more favorable benefits that come from having indefinite leave were appropriate. Basically, also what they say is to remove those people who are undesirable from the United Kingdom if they commit a criminal offense. Now, Home Office have also gone on to say as follows under Section 76(2), revocation. If a person obtain indefinite leave through the use of deception, including by a third party, it may be revoked under Section 76(2) of the 2002 Act. The deception must be material to the grant of leave. Home Office say, so when you indefinite in impo, and also when you leave to remain, Secretary of State Emrano Emane Hong Kwan, say you sentence to imprisonment. What could the bonibi? Ebia is got nothing to do with immigration. Empo. Now say you sentence to prison for more than 12 months. Abayni say Emrana Emane Hong Kwan emanit mi je okrate free unsem owia obetimi ase deporto. And it's okay to indefinite and no chese no especially and krana do ma be kromu a form your friend say newborn and I say my friend say born again for no obitimi ba obetre kromu 2 years no atweamba so we bone papa we bone mami. Say with me adwuma wo hu se de si mu cash pounds. Sabe when your girlfriend the papa rose to me robi into office no papa ye pe. We gina na bodwe say mi ti so Osama bin Laden. O papa kwa kan cross obebo no. Obi oso so maame wa twe ba si o me so na wo brim no ofie. Oba 1 year kra ma o kita indefinite. Wa ya adwuma se pounds abehye na sem to office wo ye guy. Enti ema entonyom emehwe no. Se ukita indefinite menya wadwene say that is it. Because what you ba na the bull mami no free police man. Now police ebusa mama say are you going to basically press charges? Now mama say yes. Now for one reason you who say mama nimpo ne skin a breaking na mojaba. You can be done for GBH. GBH means grievous bodily harm. Now GBH it can attract an imprisonment. If you injure someone, and there's a breaking of the body, and blood comes out, you can be sentenced to imprisonment. If you are not lucky and it's more than 1 year, you fall into the category of a criminal, of a foreign criminal, and you could face deportation following the service of your imprisonment. So these are the things, are technicalities. No lawyer will come on air and teach you this apart from justice and law solicitors. Because we are not just here to promote our brand, but we are also here to educate. It's very, very important. To educate, mens sana in corpore sano. We need to educate the mind. We did not only come here to look for money, but we also came here to learn, to educate. So it's very, very important that we understand this. So ukita indefinite, mema wagene enya wo say wawie. So ukita 2.5 years, mema wagene enya wo say wawie, because under section 76(2), 2002 Act, it makes it very, very clear, even if you obtain indefinite leave to remain by way of deception, that indefinite can be revoked, can be cancelled, can be null and void. And how can this happen? Say only oba ware, only bema ware. Obana aya onkrata ni nyina ma bibia koso kama. Na sebio bimpoa. Ono bane ware ye no na asa wo ejire foforo ebi hye baabi foforo enti therefore no technically na just ware ma tu no na obi kan sem bi o say there is no one more dangerous than a scorned wife. Now I will paraphrase that. I said there is no one more dangerous than a scorned wife or a scorned husband. Yes, wo nani brea ana oka. And you know, I very important say betis ade we ase. Se oba ana se bema, i.e. ehu se wo fa kwan boni bi so ana wo de dede na dwene ana de na dwene di agro ana wo de nya we indefinite. Menya wadwene se obetimi afa wo ho adi. Se oba no anase bema ne peso hawa menua obe hawo pa. Jenya very typical example. Ebi ola da document yi. Mako Ghana. Me koye I be 16 years for yibi. Anya me se ne baby ewu. Ejoso eye venese onye ejoso onye anase suhun sahem na ebia me no baby akwa ko fafuru. Me no ba ne ko fafuru no pressure na masan e de ensa yentie die pa o me de ensa akwa ko hu oba na busuafo no ya mamre mu die ye ko chemu na ya ware anu no because wo de ensa ko na wo ko sre abusua ese kofo wika kofo redia flower baba beti ni say te enti therefore no me de me hu oba de ya ene na chese ya mamre mu no aware no indirect eno ana no bedensa ko mabusua oba abusua ese mani gye na ho meware no oba yinyem ebi oba yawo at the same time so no ebi ma be share oba bi okromu a anasem no oba bi mpoti kromu a me nka nkire oba no ese me ko Ghana me ko di holidays di akosi ni o because bia me nimse me beka e de sembe bre me ti me ba ye no mazipo no ana makama no atum afa me telephone ayese mi soap mi ko dware kra ne di mechi because me sure se be di me telephone to na obeya me ne na ko wo Ghana e be frɛ besi so na obeyi ko hu a e de asem beba e bi so American oba me ne ti wei e bronko na odi ku me na me ye den ko ka che ne se basa akọ e bi obeyi eso wa se me ko biema no ka ye de bro ade be ku me enti therefore me buy ne ehunti makama no atum mi ko dware a me phone edi machi mi didia mi kita me phone baby me ko bia me phone etare maso ho anase ehimbotom because me pese obeya me ni ti ebehu ebi obey me ni natana che wo kromu ono so ma me pressure ana worry me o just say me peace of mind inti me se ba shaka na obey me ne na worry na obey e de nkrata file ya mame na menya me indefinite by the time menya me indefinite no e bia me be ya me ko ne Ghana already 5 years Ghana ni na ya wild fa me bra brochiro fa mbra brochiro akra ni nyino be ya akra ne passport to be ya akra ne passport to pressure here pressure there pressure everywhere and therefore what do I do ebia true that no and obeni who say me bought double game me boha ama sisi no a pascal so beni who say me di kan ko ware ba ko na owo Ghana no a ense na me ba be ware onu wo kromu a e de nya me nkrata by default no me nkrata na ebetimi atwam so ba ne report ma home office na odi hu evidence e ko kire omo ese me di kan e ware oba foforo bi ense mpo na me ne ware a e kromu a culture na ne kromu a law no polygamy is not accepted and it is not recognized. Home Office says, their policy says, where there is a polygamy and the laws of the country where the marriage took place even accept polygamy, they will only accept the first marriage. And therefore, by definition, you know, second marriage and valid. Yet we come, pain. That is it. And to say indefinite, unfortunately, we must not think that is it. Way example. The Tosubium section 76(3) of the 2002 Act. Cessation of refugee status. Once again, the Secretary of State may revoke a person's indefinite leave if that person has ceased to be a refugee. How can you cease to be a refugee? There are so many ways in which people can cease to be a refugee. One of them is where the person claims that he is a refugee. The person has been granted refugee status by the UK government. And then the person then used his travel document, i.e. refugee passport, to go to his or her home country. A typical example, Ebiasu free Ghana. Free Ghana, by definition, you know, free Ghana, and that does not make you a refugee. Now, Ebia by implication, Ebia uye gay, and I said uye lesbian. What Bekromo said, where dear Drew, because Oko Ghana, there is no protection for you. It's UK government, Emma protection. Okay, UK government is a Emma protection. The UK government are granted refugee status. And I said, refugee status, and they say the Mawa for 5 years. After 5 years, no, not why a day, or we indefinite. And the amount refugee status now, yentiedi. Who apply for refugee status or say, Oko Ukrom Ghana? You Ghana government, no, ain't me more protection. And Nuntina, who apply for refugee status, no. UK government are here to or the amount where we know a fade one kasa was I can take it. I decided to call Krum, I Ghana, baby. I was so quiet, become Yama protection. Usho so bekono, wa was I called a banisana, the refugee status can then be revoked. And it's very important, I say, Yabete Sadi we are saying. And to wow, sir, Emranima UK government fine, emanitimi revoke your stay if it was, you know, obtained by false representation, if it was obtained by deception, then they can take it. And I say your circumstances have changed. Typical example, ABR, you're about 2.5 years, also you intend to continue to be involved in your child's life. Only 2.5 years now, what do I get more sharp credit beam? And Panisana once again is beautiful and some 80 years and so far. Now, policy one say home office, and your margin say, Omubabe revoke visa na. Eso omumao, let it be a friend minded to revoke. Now, Omachre at the frontier, Ompese Omu revoke visa no. Nemum omo kyerɛ adekro wie a, they will give you the opportunity to make representation. Dientia ufri se eni se ye revoke visa no. Very, very important. Now, whereby yamao the right to make representations, there are certain things I was say utimi a cover if you have been told as your visa is going to be revoked, and they will tell you why they intend to revoke the visa. And very, very important. I say BBC is here, Memphis Niagara, and 10 Tamanano, no appear or kameni, and I saw a camera phone. Obetimi, I can't was mamma ye. Because I'm repina, I know any asama becau, name said you be see akano. Now, communication here is very, very important. Because I remember said this week, Obi sending me proposal. Now, the attitude and not a proposal, Mr. Pony straight away. Because straight away, I could sense trouble already. You have not even considered the proposal, but the attitude. I depend the buyer. For me, it was a turn off. Straight away, bre ama and kamani ama. Contra baby minimum. Tibetrim hoboko. And the way you present stuff is very, very important. So Home Office, when they send you the minded to revoke that, you could argue. And the argument or the points that you can make, I think, covers 3 main or 4 main points. And today, I'm going to talk you through it. Gentlemen, bra me hammer side way for the past weeks. They say, a quani my yetro. Heathrow Airport, a while yetro papa. You don't be back, me and stop for more questions. After you see, baby, visit revocation. Say, revocation is the norm. And no kwana yeti every day in and out. Yemi anoma yesizi omo passport, any omo biometric residency permit card. Ya catch you omo say you come visit. And tomo pomo fanko court. Omo justice and law. Edi Home Office echo court amomo. Ye bebrebe. Meti ye ya face. I don't know what to say. It's ridiculous. Not only that, almost so you invite some interview because they were not satisfied. And to uncle Fanny crew, uncle Fanny interview. And it's a way you be a Sabio Ukunu, and I saw ye Samaya. And I just got a voice here, and no question. And I said, just a wood on me, no question. Because I dear winning, won't mean farmer. Sabi, so with him, sir, and Tinteruro. Etia wotoa oye den ekohuri etreja etimunye munhwe munsuye na mumfanya afutu se begina na se kasa enye kasa na eye dekeke because the yehu no ana yedi hu adanse sabe because history is the study of past events and using those experiences to implement future decisions or to make better judgments and better decisions in the future. Whilst it's in the past, it also help us to the right direction in the future. Tidiaton Crawford, yes, so SUC be ADA free. And if the Home Office are intending to revoke your visa, how do you fight back? What is it that you can do? What can you say in order to make sure, say, your paper is safe? Once again, I will say this. The first point that you can cover, even if you're not coming to Lawyer Daku, and you have a lawyer acting your case, or you're doing it yourself, which I will not recommend. It's very important that you understand at least these principles. Passage of time. That is point 1. Passage of time is point 1. Passage of time, what does that mean? It means, he said, se when you're indefinite, ache. Na se enfie awodo bebre ababe fa enfimfia. And no, you could argue. I said it would be unfair for the Home Office to revoke your visa. Even if there is an allegation that your leave was obtained by false representation or fraud, Home Office guidelines and cases that has gone before the court makes it very clear. The longer you have held your indefinite leave to remain, the more chances that you have in keeping it. So it falls into guidelines of like the adverse possession about property. Like if you are living in property and no one asserts any ownership, and you live in the property for 10 years or 12 years, depending on the jurisdiction, you can claim ownership to that property. So once again, even if you have obtained indefinite by deception, false representation, and so on and so forth, and you can convince the Home Secretary that it will be unfair for this to be revoked because you have held it for so long, and during that time you have done A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on and so forth, then of course you could make a very strong argument for your visa not to be revoked. So this is something that I think we need to be aware of. Number 2, mistakes and error. If, for example, Home Office made a mistake in issuing you indefinite leave to remain, or there is an error by the Home Office, or even you yourself, you made an error. So, for example, small error, minor error, that was not intention to deceive or anything like that, then you can also do what? You can also use that to get your point across and also to get your visa not to be revoked in this country. The next one is availability of information. Availability of information. So for example, you provided the entry clearance officer or the Home Office all the necessary information. You did not hide anything, and yet they still went ahead and grant you indefinite leave instead of maybe 2.5 years. They cannot then come back and argue that they are going to take it from you. And also, whenever there are exceptional circumstances, maybe you've done charity work, maybe you have a child, the child has been living in the UK for 10 years, you know, and so on and so forth, strong ties and family life, you set up a business, paying your taxes and everything, you bought your house in this country, this is your home. You have nowhere to go. You've been living in this country for so long, it will be undesirable, or it will be unexpected, it will be unreasonable for them to expect you to relocate to another country. If you're able to successfully argue your case on these points, then you could end up keeping your visa. 12 o'clock, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we continue the program. Don't touch the dial, don't go anywhere, stay tuned, and we shall be back. Let's go to Paradise City PC and listen to what they have to offer us in terms of buying houses in Ghana.
Paradise City. Yeah, this beautiful ultramodern city, Upper Tema, Community 25, Whooper Standard, Executive, Semi-Executive Quality Buildings. Here Paradise City. Here we go. It's as if you brochure about Ghana and Tino. Here payment terms no so. And a phone book call. Open self-finance and as a mortgage. Paradise City. Oh, your telephone number is so. UK +447 908 475 802. Paradise City. Ye Juma pa Magana yefe ankasa.
Ba eni ma me du fi oye dwuma odukisi anopa biara me nua ba sori ahoɔden mu no kwadu on complaining da tell me ba bitutu no sanso na me bra o fitani o tu engine no opagya engine the car dwuma sɛ de sitie da bi biara no o dendende me amayire o store mo adi liga me yire ensori anopa enka sɛ na nia ha anase no ho ye ne mreda sanam papa ne fia konkan ɔno so complaining da tell me ba bia ne ya o sori anopa na no afanse kan no okonefu me akrobato madwuma me ye me kan news na me active na me kɔbɛba ta biara no ebra me de bedampo na alias nanso men sorry that no cranka say me hu ba bia me ya ne nyina gya say your secret ahunta asɛm ɛyɛ duru a ɛde bɔ ɛho ba ne nyinaa ne kowa mesha kuani ɛyɛ duru a wɔnom a ɛboa wo nipadua no ɛma wo si pi wo si ta mɛkamfo ama wo sɛ wɔn nso no kowa mesha ne bi na ɛbɛboa wo na aboa wo ne obusua na yareda hɔ ɛya nunum bi na wobɛdi adanseɛ
wɔ UK wobɛnya kowa mixture ɛwɔ Ghana Market, the Heart of Africa, ground floor, shop number 138, Church Road, Nizen, London. Obetumi afre 07514 433 148 and answer 07464 636 604.
Kowa mesha abusua ɛmuntase minia ba
Amway a company kɛseɛ a ɔmode nneɛma pa abɛdwa so ɔmo nneɛma ni bi yɛ health products, beauty products, and a home care product. Ɔmo health products ni bi yɛ vitamins and as a food supplements, beauty products ni bi nso ɔmo wɔ enku and as a mena ɛbɛma wo honam atɔ so already atɔ so sɛ nome. Ɔmo home care products ni bi samana yɛde huhuru nkukuo mu nea yɛde twitwi adwaeɛ emu deɛ deɛ wopɛ biara no wobɛtumi anya bi ɛwɔ Amway sɛ wopɛ emu nsɛm atie anaasɛ wopɛ bi ato a yɛsrɛ sɛ frɛ owura Emmanuel Eshon ɛwɔ 075 076 30487 075 076 30487 and also say abelfo amansan tentan kɛseɛ no so wobɛhunu wɔ makyira kwan ɛwɔ www.amway.co.uk/user/ms na ofre owura Emmanuel Eshon and also say wotuns ansa ɛkɔ amansan tentan kɛseɛ no so wɔ mo website no so a ɔmo ne wobɛdi nkita ho fɛfɛɛfɛ ɛno na owura Emmanuel Eshon bɛka kyerɛ sɛ ɛndeɛ na ɔnaanyɛn
party na last over farm ko e abaya bi ko shia nsa ba nsi nya ni grata ma no and I get it you na we share my party as ya so nya grata ma I'm so be boku ni me de me no ya we di what's up on bi mo e be fi kesi fu kote to ko ni
ɛgyawo
ko unye da unye na ebo fu me ya ko ma tu
na den majira pressure bom na dada na mpese mbebi
what you akuma ni nsu nyina ayi afi ho me ka certificate mfo
na ada moti ha mo ho ntwa na moda so tefi ha
na wo ni me maka nchiro e na wunya so koye ngata ma obi o me dem so oyo oke kura
yo mesremo pi ewi ase de obi eno ho ti for asem pakodo enemre mu so de obi eno ho betena ho ama ta bada ho so owon kame eno ti mesrew se bank ata asem ko ande a na se wuni krata wo krom ha na wunya nkrata mesrew adwuma ba ko pe e na make am for amount eno ane justice and law solicitors lawyer ye fe no opinda ku David eho e na owo never immigration sem landlords and tenants family legal documents civil litigation wills and employment issues ni nyina papa odi hu djuma e wo ho na mesra mo maba beto mu ne America tira mu momfa mo maboso mo tom
na wo kai papa otimi akonto kwa nyina ma ye se bia obi agi usika zo mba so obetia no so otimi ye ho djum
ni nyina lawyer benda akudi ni nyina hu djuma na ne aye mani ka awon ho ne se wo ye ntokotwan se ba mra mu dia so waje wasede so onwie ya papa onyini sa emfrase
pacho hefa na ase na so wo no
yo me pacho obegu justice and law for ewo unit 35 Eurolink Business Center 49 Efra Road Brixton SW2 1BZ na the telephone number any 02077 385841 and I say the mobile number 07538969589 Mr. And then they said migration for senior blue chrome had share and one travel ama and perform now quiet. It's the free no code found cat at some Equadine Justice and Law Solicitors.
Hey, Ojam, also since you want the way you are on idea, see, I've been over a day about coffee.
And yes, she penny see who finance of about Yinti. And I'm saying, lawyer Ben, that go apart on horses or what young Ghana 43 Wunti. Maybe there be a free and a pedubako, Equabo, a Riadonco, lawyer Exna, a Fidia, a Fire Life Radio, so XS, Mem, into a free memory that Benjamin that can be and for Fidia Fire Life Radio, let's see a lawyer and a Emremun Sem Ewoho. Tifina Radio, Justice and Law Solicitors,
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Into our program this so. Now, Home Office have just published this as at 6th of July. It's not anything new, but I felt that maybe we should also mention it. It's been a Home Office policy. It's something that was not published, but from experience and from cases that we've come across, we can see that it's something that they have been doing anyway. So for me, it doesn't come as a surprise, but it has just been published to make it, if you like, public knowledge. But it's something that they've been doing anyway. It has been published the Home Office to offer extension to people denied settlement. So if you have made an application under Appendix Settlement Family Life, Appendix Private Life, Appendix Innovator, Appendix FM, Appendix Hong Kong, British National Overseas, and you submit an application for indefinite and you do not qualify, Home Office may decide to grant you further leave to remain, rather than rejecting or refusing your application, so that you don't lose your Section 3C leave. So that is what the Home Office have now announced that they will do. Appendix Settlement Family Life, how can this happen? Appendix Private Life, how can this happen? It can happen on the basis, for example, if you supposed to pass life in the UK test and you have not passed the life in the UK test, and you submit an application for settlement with the hope and belief that at some point you will pass the test and then add it to the documents before a decision is made. If it comes to the decision making and you have not passed the life in the UK test, then Home Office will simply decide to grant you an extension. If you don't get the extension, or if you don't want the extension, they will simply refuse the application, and that will put you into more trouble. So people need to be aware of this. It is your obligation, it is a duty on you as the applicant to make sure that you do all that you need to do and get all the right documents in time before you submit your application. Many a times people have 2.5 years to prepare for the test. 2.5 years prepare for the English test and the life in the UK test. But procrastination, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. Before they know, the time is up. And when the time is up, by all means, you are going to be working under tremendous pressure. It's not everyone that can handle pressure. Some people are unable, cannot handle pressure. That is a fact of life. Some people deal with pressure. It's their daily bread. Lawyer Darko, I am #1 lastminute.com. Last minute, I can make things happen. But not everyone is like that. Not everyone wants to work like that. I will prefer doing things well in advance, but sometimes the nature of our work doesn't make it happen. But regardless of what it is, we will always do the best that we can and deliver, even under pressure. So all that I say to you is this. If your time is about to be up, and you know you have been advised that you have to do life in the UK test, Don't sit there and say, I'm going to wait till tomorrow. Because tomorrow will never come. And when it comes, it may be too late. I have seen people who are well educated. They are vexed in education. Holding PhDs. They've done their life in the UK test and it has gone wrong. I know people holding a master's degree, PhD, doctorate, you name it, you know. They have done the test and they have failed. Because do not think that the fact that you are educated means that you can take the exams easy. If you don't study, you will not pass the test. Because the test is specific test, where you need to study specific material in order to be able to pass this specific test. If not, and you think that your degree will allow you to pass the test, you are joking. If not, and you think that you are knowledgeable and therefore you will pass the test, you are joking. Because it can all go horribly wrong. It's for this reason that I advise that the sooner the better. I say prekonam ye dinisho. E cha nejo, e jo so anada. And therefore don't waste no time. Menye se abua kokosechi. On the enso tonkwa no se da chimisi medan. Adwim boninti kokosechi so de di fie na ho ayakono obedi di osumi na so. Mentena ho ema ebrene ma no akase hu yanka. And the sooner the better. We are now why now is out of the way. Enti yenhye so. The tosubiem ampesa no kan ho asem eye marriage of convenience and sham marriage. Sekase marriage be eye marriage of convenience ase the same. Ane kase bibi so eye sham marriage ase the same. Na yenuanum a omo kofia omo ba yegina omo okwan mu. Eno ane de tete wo mo. Pressure ye dey microphone airport one morning. Yetimi ka terms ni no bi nti ase or say yes. Yetimi ka chobi say your marriage is a sham marriage. You better tell the truth or we are going to deport you. Or say yes. I am shishi enti anya homusu enti. Brofo na ye kana kra wonti ase enso bebo ni trinko. Ko Tese abosom kotre ebi a wota da ho. No bo ni trinko say ya. Se onti bibia se a menua memma answer. Se onti bibia se a be bold and request for an interpreter. Be bold and say I don't speak English. Even if I do, I need an interpreter so that I can understand what I am being asked. If you are not sure, demand to see your lawyer before you speak to anyone. Because the best form of evidence for your opponents to get is a confession evidence. Whether you understood it or not, once you say something and you commit yourself to your own detriment, it is too late to wiggle your way out. And it makes it almost impossible to come out of that situation. So it's very, very important that if you know that you don't know what on earth you are talking about, if you don't know what you are being asked, if you don't understand what is going on, demand to speak to your lawyers, demand to get an interpreter so that you do not incriminate yourself. And it's your right under both common law and also under the PACE Code, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act of 1984 as amended. You have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. And also you have the right not to self-incriminate yourself under common law. And therefore don't feel that there is a need for you to just talk. Because it is not your job to help authorities to gather evidence against you and to use it against you. We need to be very, very careful about this. So now let's look at this. When we say sham marriage and a marriage of convenience, what are they? A sham marriage is defined under the Immigration Act as one in which there is no genuine relationship between the parties to the marriage or civil partnership, and either or both of the parties enter into the marriage for the purposes of circumventing UK immigration control. And this is a sham marriage. Sham marriage, according to the Home Office, if one kasana emrano, actually say, obi any obi, I pretend they say omu relationship, and so not omuni relationship be any. And a party to not ashada awari, and so not just say awari be also anywhere. And one of them, and I say both of them, I call awari the purpose they say, ompese omode edinya enkrata etina krumuano. And they find sham marriage, Eti sham marriage, eya waria endim. Awaria obi a plan a ploto. Actually, a relationship will be any, but the aim of the marriage, and I say the aim of the relationship, is to get people to stay in this country. And none of emremono, omofe the sham marriage. Now, yanka marriage of convenience as well. A marriage of convenience is defined as a marriage entered into for the purposes of circumventing immigration laws. There's a difference. Sham marriage, the intention is to basically to avoid to get papers for someone. But a marriage of convenience, a marriage and I enter into. And no, there is nothing called pretense marriage. And he said, "Ya kase obrobia a marriage of convenience. A marriage inipa mienu akan bom awari. Oma worry no, there have to be some intent. As one of them is to get around the immigration law. And therefore, no, sekase to get around immigration law. And no, in itself, no, a boom raswana. Marriage of convenience. Arguably, there has been cases upon cases where the judges have said, or the court have said, marriage of convenience. Almost every marriage, there have to be a bit of convenience in those marriages. Bia obi ohonoma ne nkwanya obenuama ne dinti eni nti no ware no enu nti na empenimfo kan asem bi se ukura de enkwan pa eje aware se oye oba na wokwa aware ase na se winu aduane noa na wonhwe okunu ya na ukuru kofa empena anase okoware bi eka ohu a baby ye born enkwan pa no you say the way to the man's head or to the man's heart is through the stomach. And so be body nkwan pa this person that worry no hu face o obi the nkwan pa e ba bejiwa worry enti convenience na no bi no because any partner what ya worry na se no there is a convenience because what me born a reverend nkwan what me born a katikonto what me born your friend is saying and katinkwan enti sana akwa ye enti marriage of convenience there if arguably I'm not afraid. I'm like I say, every marriage, there is evidence of convenience in it. I didn't let me who be now penal. Ebia who be now penal, Ebia said was in 90 cranty, and my check. And for you, then the 90 and a be more convenience, and more feeling good. Ebia anybody in fear yenti. And now penal, Ebia in fear for my baby. Oh, my dear, over so many, my dear. And therefore, in every marriage, there arguably there is a bit of convenience in there. Obi also swa ebia oba no said was it here na kumem said was it kasa obuade that alone till them penny for say wa ho ofed obekwa aware na emu suban fi a wo mu ade a wani so hwe no ebesa do aba ofie. Etino aware bia no there is a bit of convenience. And being in a marriage of convenience does not necessarily mean it's a sham marriage. A sham marriage, there is no love, there is nothing. There is no relationship. But marriage of convenience, there can be relationship. But one of the ultimate goals is to have a child and rely on your child to stay in the UK. One of the goals is to have a baby with the mother so that the mother will marry you and you get your papers. There is a convenience in there. And therefore, there's a difference between sham marriage and marriage of convenience. So for someone to accuse you of a sham marriage, let the person accuse you of a marriage of convenience. Because of marriage of convenience, there is relationship. And you may have a motive outside the relationship or in addition to the relationship. So if you are being, once again, accused of being in a sham marriage or marriage of convenience, and you are looking for a lawyer to help you with your case, get in touch with Justice and Law Solicitors. Once again, Justice and Law, we are based at Unit 35B, 49 Ephra Road, Brixton, London, SW21BZ. Our telephone number is 0207 993 5976 or 07538 969 589. So, offer book appointment in the bra. Maybe you phone so and to answer some. I said before I come to you, I want to ask questions and make sure so you can help me before I come. Sometimes na nipa begin to ask questions lawyer Darko, me dey adwuma Frank am come anim. Enti obi e protecting dey, enti therefore so any break na so person making mover. You book appointment, come and sit down so that we can have time for you. We can go through everything and help you, because one yen is enya dey beboa. Because so person ugina phone so na we give free advice and no dey enya adwuma. In the past yes ani many bi, but ye jai yenye sani many bi. Obi timi frel, ube waste your time 1 hour, 2 hours, obani free advice, obi osi nyame nhyirawo. Landlord bana so obodan mu na ka se landlord nyame nhyirawo metwa me bills a onti ase ohia physical cash. Sika kokko, sika eye oja, na landlord epe. Enti no sana etie, obi edidi na djuma ho. But if force de oye afemfimade no, on pepe ne sakwa. Enti no se obi nyamo a na obi ko appointment no aba. Na so be tua kakra na se dia hwe how far obi asika hwe obi botom bantima ba for when they can asem. Now ekromo so dim se ne ma be break so relationship break it down afi na ye de enkra no adane pimpon me ma wo hu nkra no me kire wo nyansa pa me se wo nkrata me twa pipem o kwa ko renew ana wo behu me hia bibia afri ho ene ensem ne de ye titi bi de bia. Ebia make mami anase papa yi a enkra ne ntene nchen no ebi mpo a adwuma woye adwuma bosumi bia odiska kakraba ese yemfa hwe nkra ende eba a wosere na waje na de ahwe okutokuom papa yi anase mami eba behwe ne ba osime kire onyansa mempene se wo mpeme de ne wo mpeme maso so enka ho mami papa so bi mpewa enye o ma no mpewo. At the end of the day se odi akraba wi ase a and your God-given right. As you as parents, it is your responsibility to look, care, and nurture the children together. And in Justice and Law Solicitors, ya JDC and so say, oye eja, oye na say the other parent is preventing you from seeing your children. You come to us and we will fight for you. As long as you have a case, we will fight for you to be able to see your children. Many a times, I'm not the other parent. Me mani hunema, me trade nyansa, want to be nyameshe, a chromo dear, and you give a dear Benny, I can't send a poto. After what shitty Paruka quarter, after honor, not like I shall see a juma. After Nanum Jack, any day that way in ano, not after a tilly so. You best repeat. When it comes to children, it's not about you. It's about what is in the best interest of the children. And therefore, sebeya, se woni nipa nimpo na enya asema, enye enkra na no enya asem. Akra beso huni mame, akra beso huni papa. You the parent, you don't have the right to stop the child from seeing their parents. Se mame anase papa mpo na ye obone a, enya akra na ye obone. Enti memfa ebufuo enye de enkosi oba edo a owone mame o emane mame anase ne papa ehu ekwan sebe yesi etipaye ba aboa koto ono de fa na ho ben adwembone susunti na okoto kra de o se ono ompetire ene ntia ba be ne ya ti besire pi awofo se wone mame wone papa na nya ntokwa oba de enye na asem se mo ye adult na mo ntimi sort mu problems out a men fa nkoshe wo ba anase men ko use wo ba and fan score points. At the end of the day, I am putting for blood is thicker than water. So papa didn't pay your bonnet, a crandy doing any bonnet, and therefore no man can say why me bonnet dia and your smith rule answer made me use me by third party as a revenge too. Mom, yes, I didn't win and who ain't here. Nancy in cases a dear court in parent back who begin away get a new can same pee as we do quarter. Now I jojo, tis a bull fruiter. Aye, you know. Into your best remo. brebre ama akamane ama yensem bebre ekoko tototo ye twi ye ma ekura system ni mu sanke benya anka sebe anka asem emposia ka yentenase na yenka boko na entiase enye adwuma enso ebi mo se omo de omo ntijai asase abai ye ntijai se wan twi na kwan kogina court anya de obema kwan ama over the past year enkofa ya twuma ko gina court ama afi dada de ka cho so omo nya no omo so omo nye no sese omo ye eno so no yes had the threat at so eso man ya police ba be cho. And you know, do you have to get to that far before you do what is right? I don't know. Obi ani na adwene. But ya da kon abroche ye ntufo. Nyem na mabe tu before. Nemom, the SEC no, see you shame be free man. It makes us better people, better individuals, and it helps us to move forward in life. Tibesri P. Awofo no mo amowo ma ewo krum wa no. Sebe aware no ankoyi. Anase bibi nti no enema enkoyi no mamundusu enkra no ase tu enti ene bibi dwadi ne besia na afi bibi amotrofo na tum na wa question bia no obetimi afre na wa ide na wa busa. Panyini eye abofra ye first caller yemfa no ya mo number de kra wodi kan yenko ye name number 236 number chodin de se na kase free.
Good morning, good afternoon. This is British accent.
Hey, British accent walande yenko British accent all the way from Scotland. I hope we say there oh yeah. Yede nyame ase soso.
Yede nyame ase. Me say na be fi.
Na oh yede nyame ase pass oba fi. Na me bra ho soso yede.
Me ho ye pa.
Me bra wo free Ashton.
Eni na ye fi na etie.
Mo tie mi on. Wo say ya no soso free bro ani o Ashton for okru.
Ashton for okru.
That's right. Na ede ne wo ma.
The person be say who submit when Yama by 2020. Now say na you independent indefinitely Amawa. From that 2020 up to this time, which may apply the British passport
Okay. The key no essay key nini. Say British nationality no. A different rules are also making sure say you can satisfy. You need to go back 10 years. And for example, indefinite diamawa, which is July. You need to go back to July 2012. Now Abusa won't say from July 2012 no, up to now. Satamina na uwa visa na. Na uni visa krana na uwa appeal air pendiana. If that is the case, and you bet me apply for British citizenship. If that is not the case, I was a train. Now we need 10 years clean record before you apply. And for example, ABA first application, what they call Home Office 2012. What they call, Oman Farm House until maybe 2014. A bad sana, a advisor will say over train ama 2024 ABA. And say now apply. Because the rules they say, naturalization rules they say your application for naturalization not within the last 10 years were breaching immigration law no before a year grounds for refusal. How do you breach the immigration law no? Bia now with Kruma na we visa. And say na obabe wari sini in 2013. 2014 na yedemao. Yedema wono afi na nyame adomo saka we indefinite. Ebani sana, that means you have not completed 10 years clean record because what the application put echo 2013 I said about 2013. And in that case I just about trying for 2023 now I apply.
Okay.
But also at Masi. And you know yenum so ntwe ope.
Okay.
Why that's it.
But what you mean you exams toward the
I know the intentem and pennyfo say obrun so ntem na wani ekoko ntem. Enti no sa life in the UK test no. Akwakoye bibia wan hwe yi obeti ahwe. Ana the more time eko no, the more no more add more history to it. Typical example, Abia 6 weeks time, 7 weeks time, your prime minister a very different person, you be changing no. Obakoni Abusa say, who is the prime minister? Na kocho Boris Johnson, Theresa May, David Cameron. Na new one and wabe yede naba. Na yede ono so aka ho. Afi na won wadwena koyo bebre na wudi wunchusu. Ebi so wuntie news. Enti wadwiri mo no fi say Boris Johnson that does your prime minister. And so na wonim say e kwan of us to Theresa May no. Sa kwan na so na enkofo fa so tu no. Ewi ase say obi konanima bodo no konanima ya no so di bia boa no bi konanima wu twitwa na ki twa na ki a what goes around comes around sanity.
Thank you.
Ma Teresa May soon ye pa I'm quitting the job that I love. So na just say sanity. Yes, one ma yonko entwa na ya one ma yonko entwa ngodu afunta. You see you can read that sanity. Bye-bye. Bye. Yes, but I'm afraid now. So wait me a friend number no 075389695989. Nana Akosia Jankroma the first ya chia baby a wo biara. O se dey Nana Akosia Jankroma ofuriata the first ya chia baby a wo biara. Sasuna Mr. Eshon, yes. Disco Abrantie baby a wo biara so ya chia. Baby a wo biara no so person friend number na ana ekudwane ana egu board no 07538969589 usu ubetimi afre ye wo ha until 1 o'clock ye taking more phone calls and it's up so friend yeah this is the time a ball 1 o'clock pepe you be free pay so because you never be free egu yanim e wo say ye koye enti ento telephone calls ne so enti say opese o friend yeah this is the time e wo say o friend o question bia ubetimi afre na wabusa say o person be frɛ we telephone shy na o person we send the message so a any message column one no or comment section ana e wo ho no so ubetimi ayede afre tie gu so ye twɛn mo call mama fere mama ko be bia men twɛn so bi in France a so ubetimi afre sanity.
Oh my friend yo. Oh my friend yo.
Yes, if you have any question, we are here for you today. We spoke about revocation of leave to remain or indefinite leave to remain. We know that by virtue of Section 76 of the Immigration Act 2002, the Secretary of State can revoke your visa, whether it's limited leave or indefinite leave to remain. So, for example, you travel and you're on your way back to the UK, immigration officer, they've got the powers to stop and ask you questions. If they ask you questions and you are unable to answer it, or they are not convinced that the visa was obtained by using legally means, i.e. legal ways to obtain it, they have the right to revoke such visas. So you need to be aware of this. Please, with the English test, category is suitable for naturalization. Okay, which category? Is level B1. Level B1 is equivalent to A-level English. Some people call it GESE level 5. Some people call it level B1.1. So that is what you need to do for English test, for naturalization, as well as for indefinite leave to remain. So by all means, that is the test that you need to do. I will recommend Trinity College of London. They have a lot of branches around London and also the UK. Just go online, put in Trinity College of London. So maybe whilst I'm talking and waiting for phone calls, I can cut the link, put the link there in the comment section for you, and you can just follow the link. Then it will make it easy for you. Like I always say, if you qualify for British citizenship, waste no time. Some people will say, if you are holding indefinite, it's the same as holding British passport. That is a lie. Don't be deceived. Don't let someone fool you. It's never the same. Yes, ekura, any about okura. Aha, omudin se, and some mohona se. Sa so na yese aboa koto oni kukofufu nini omufi abusia baakum enso omonsre afekuro mu sana etie. Hello 256 yanko. The patrol dear one friend or obitimi akasawai. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. That's the same. Mami Boatima, young quay.
Now, what you say?
Yanko Pondum, Yeguso, Yedunkulum, Yediko, Yevesa DBM.
Yeah, my sit down.
There be forward ever, backwards never.
Aye, now, lawyer, I wouldn't so why are there, pa? What's now radio instruction? I wouldn't mind there why I am at the power improve.
Just so catch me.
What time now the program 11 o'clock?
Oh,
first part, now what's now so up to 3 o'clock?
Yes.
Or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the way you improve, no. There was so many at my home. The same at the car.
Yeah.
Now, my also when your time, no go for and my about what's over. What's the other?
That's
now,
right.
some when your time, I'm on a message. I said your time.
That's right.
And no, what's saying your time here, and no, that was so when you want to come up. I am at the bar, and I'm here. Because now it's not much. A farmer with chin, so
yeah, and a crate.
yes, because what's now on Monday to Friday and up to Saturday and 80s.
Yes.
And while you prove with a bag, I hope so will continue.
We will continue. A treasure, Babylon by bus.
That was the pin. I mean, shit, I will clap planning, you know, come. That's a Lord here, or your normal mouth. Now, I'm Anthony, man, I will be hard, and that's the why if I do it, you know,
that's right.
Because he had the Yamaco and the Yansa and the year tomorrow. To make that was a P lawyer, why I be a papa. And to a time, you know, I am a year to our best friend, a train, Nippon a train. No, I can't say, make the new program, it's improvement
Yes,
What this one out now too long? Let me go. You know, why improve? I made the fire.
Sa.
Yeah, me shop. I bet my witness and you do soon about it for year to ma. Save your boss lady program, which you never sponsor it to be TV.
That's right.
In Africa, yes, without fee. Yeah, me shop.
Yes, sir.
And I will tell my niche, why?
What's it?
Yes, bye.
Yes, 1 hour for yentimia amfano betimi akoso afre. Say life in the UK test any English test in made the link out to comment section ho and to click here not just say I am very easy for you to be access it. Now life in the UK very tricky. And no matter what you say udimadi into ko ya be pass it can be very tricky into the yen and so. Hello. Me patrol just a utie free telephone this why utie free radio this why there's a delay in transmission. Okay, nipa na offer them say onye ready. Mesopi say offer maintain no radio ne so. The audio radio no because there's a transmission delay. Enti abane sana so kasa kra na just a watching for about 2 minutes. Emma would tie free radio ne so say kasa. And say na wetimi akasa. Enti say wo kasa na so be so dey kasa. Telephone na dey free no. E wada mo adwene nko so. Now radio no lower no. And yes, in your feedback cause a lot of confusion with our CPE. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Nampacho Odi de Sena Kasa Free.
Mpacho Midindi Yana Mikasa Free Kent. Mpacho Mpasa can be a question be a visa application from Ghana, but my name is maybe San Wahana.
By all means,
membuki appointment.
Obetimi Ebusa, you know, and your big deal. General information, a big deal. Say your personal information and person be out to the just
okay. Okay, Pastor, general principle is a nakam person visa say in the circumstance where I want somebody to come over during my maternity leave, no, is it best me inviting say on my during the maternity leave and now say maybe na me kwe juma no not like me inviting or not just about the boy like which is the best circumstance to use as the reason for inviting somebody?
Nina, it be dependent on circumstances. You find yourself, for example, Abia we a single parent. There is no partner around to help you during the childbirth. In that case, you know, with many doctors nakasa. Now, it makes us a birth partner. And you know, mame and I say nipa na person oba no. Ubetimi invite no. Na nipa no ababa sister through the birth and also after birth no. And you know when midwife kasa, omutimi boa extra supporting letter in that respect.
But in this circumstance, as my way you know, like, but I was wondering, say, me invite you almost ombra sisia, me invite you ombra sisia na better saying ya. Maybe na mafia kolana fi makwejuma back no then what is the person coming on answer is that a good reason say be obe boa mafia kolana instead of taking the child to the nursery kind of things
and no mom dey good reason because by inviting someone to come and be a child carer no UK government is of the opinion say a nipano indirectly is coming to work. Because say juma no ubetimi dem British ni anase obi a eye na juma say onye wokromu ano and you go for obi ba you are preventing that person from making a living and to that angle no emboa na embom say wawo ana oba besra mo they are fine so ba besra wa I don't just want to me hwene ontimi mo e wo sa kwan ni so pacho so atase and tell me better.
Okay, it's the name a better reason than the post. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Patrick, no, can me did two and now but I've understood it, but I'll still call and book an appointment for further detailed advice.
Not a problem at all. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Why?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you for now. Yes, so opeso fra damba Didi Jumano 07530. Sorry, 07538 969 also so ubitini idea afre. Enti egusua ye twem ko. Ebo one pepepe si di kai no. Ye di dwumadie no eba na wiye. Because I very very important. As if you take your time serious. Na ye dia ye adwuma because when it ya ekruma de time no e bi no. Enti no ubitini afre. Number ni 07538 969 589. Yes, it is a opesa wofra enedwumadi ayedi ye no eye your friends say revocation of visa say umame and so papa edo be krumu for example na ebia oye ensimhunu ebia visa dia mauna especially kita 5 years as dependent family members of EEA national for no yama 5 years it comes with condition is say ondo mame eno papa ebetena abum yentie ne yo condition is say ono mame eno papa betena abum enti eba ne say ono mame eno papa ntia the conditions of the visa no is already breached eba ne say na o mame anaso papa ekache home office for say me ba me papa ne ba ya mama ne 5 years say on tifie ha biem on dependi wo me ne me yiri su biem a and not to what home office between people they can revoke your stay into Yenshaneso where there is conditions attached to your visa. If you breach any of the conditions, and also so it's me a day, it's me a job visa if you want some. It's when you want to say on second 5 years now and now, it's me a free one some. The makes me can say I'm for any careful. A quiet fast so by no, it me fat sakwa na soko. Enti eye ahweye and krata ne kitawa and chese that is the end. Enti yen hye so. Yawo 8 minutes. Na edwumadie na aba na wieye. Enti so pese wo fra. Ye twa phone calls no. Enti se opese wo fra na chese this is the time I was wo fra ye nua ba ko eja long message tin ye read na ye hwe de ono so betimi aka ama no. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon, lawyer.
Good afternoon to you. Pacho Dini said I can say free.
Me Pacho from Eunice.
Eunice.
Me Pacho, me say me bisa question, me say wait me about me.
Fire away.
Me Pacho me wo 2 boys, so we are twins. Now omo kwa kwaji omo passport. Or my first British passport. Now, I did 2 monona. Woman came to a time, say, data, a woman. Now, my many papa, the one lady in Tina say, almost fell from so they call home office. Now, I'm call you a British citizenship certificate.
Right.
It's more a year, the coy. So we dey call nyame adom no mo dey ama op. No mo dey ma omo a case work na kan say mo dey ma omo a. Yen sending family omo passport office na omo sending kura na yin family omo. Say omo betimi dey akọ omo school no. Ya send the call ya maame no e dey abasaje say omo say interview and send omo the passport na ma wona me busa say is it the right procedure?
I will not say any right procedure because passport office guidelines, you know, it can't be.
Okay.
It just say if there is any doubt they can call you for an interview.
Okay.
Now, I am the same way because be brabeto yenim, you see. And I'm happy to say your clients are better yenim, guidance at the mao,
Okay.
Now, normally, said you must see a busa question, a honor there is a bit of something is not right there. So don't see some more questions, because se mami any papa bi wo na se omo enware empoa, the children can still qualify as British, and therefore they don't need to naturalize. Entina ebe depende tama ya wo nkra no, se wo nkra no after the year 2007 do you catch us?
Sorry, so
no, it's fine.
Yeah. 2005. But,
okay. Yes.
Date papa no naturalize didn't naturalization 2005. That was April. And so May. Eti ankasa penny back of frey. Catch me say they are qualified for that without them even applying for
naturalization. Yes.
But this case worker was so, I don't know.
Ridiculous. Okay, now it makes sense. Because the rule is say papa no enya ne British citizenship. Na say owu e China kura na ne ba ne British.
Yeah.
Na case worker bi o ha sebe or apply common sense. Or ticket boxes is on use fie nyansa. Make us an make can school nyansa on can fie nyansa. Obi wa school wa be pa. So common sense we need. And you come across people like that. But all the same, there's a way in why. Case worker be or the Nisu swa or best or better was but and to was saying the winner. Interview no, on to mean chewing. Interview no, on to mean ye koto. Name boom, or person establishes say you as the mother, I am passe and cranny oma. You as a mother, your immigration history. They are the bell kruma, time at the bell kruma, addresses are what naso. So what worry that one a worry woman. Anna, I fairly say, Oma, the details. These are the things are any Juma way. These are the things they want to know. And to any bibia who be a Timeka said, oh, they're come to him because at the end of the day, naturalization or Marco found long route and no crowning. I mean, I am successful. Or pursue your interview. Okay, fair enough. Your interview. Question will be so be no one to me answer.
Yeah.
Ebi so papa no so no. Ese wo huni ma fa ne ho. Ese so huni ma fa wo. Nembum tama papa no be kru mu kwan ofa so nya ne nkrata. Se wa wo ade ma baby omuti omudin. Wa ware agya ya ha no ware no. Dabe no agya no. Eba ne se no mu agya ye. These are the things ibibusa. Enti no woni no eni nkomomo. Na de obi aso no oma wonya we said the ekofa nim gwase bia ma because me ama ye case am obi da sebe me kram ye lawyer no minim se nipa no ma 5 yikubusa na yere ne say ukuruma ye sen ahonwoso na akokafo oso nim se de ma ye 5 sase me se me dwene ho amante ase da me kura me nim mo kwa na me nka busua ne ho minim se de ma ye 5 me busa ne se na e ba ne se na ye sa mistake na o se na me ho woso na e kwa no tumi. But Sunday man etaisi itmi banisa interview so there ye busa wa me mo adwene nyo say ye busa wa so mansa calm yourself down ye busa na se wonte ase a cause repeat the question I don't understand and to rush it take it easy nenya nto wase obusa na anya sure wo say I'm not sure men throw won say chinchine so mansa so for example okay say bia ukuruma yesen na say ebia wo as far as you know no ukuruma yefo. And also because as far as I know, he's got 4 children. But men, sometimes you can even have a children without even telling you. Not just another caveat. Just in case, Ukruka can't fire fat. Not just a back on country until they're your fault. Now they're covered. But was what I said.
They want to interview the children.
Debbie. It's only you and the father. In some cases, it's only you.
Oh. Because I say 17 years, almost according to them, they are adults. So adults, they are coming to obtain their first passport.
Yeah, because
and, they should interview them. But me wo back home, more twins and back home, more yale.
Okay.
Yes, send the command almost a back home, more yale. Send and no bayana, almost they have to get a letter from the doctor. Then no man who said, what do you mean? Let's just say, Takrano, and no Ben, sir, interview, and like it's stressing Takrano because this will do more exams or more, who quiet will be saying why? Because I don't know why. Papa will not know what, so what is going on?
Okay, I mean, I can understand why in here they want to interview him, and I'm going to explain it to you. And yeah, I mean, tell Kakra to cool himself down. Say timing of the interview, a bit disturbing the exams. Tell them they can postpone it because exams are more important than this. And this is not the time. What is happening will be disturbed. And you can call there and he said, look, my son has got GCE coming up. He doesn't need the stress. Please postpone the date to after the exams.
Okay.
One, they want to establish, say, Kakra no ye woni krumu ampa. Identity na o claim say you no ano. E ampa say e you no a. Jentia se say insane wo mani abre ne say 2002 case bi ba mani. Na to be honest, a case am real feeder. My client after September 11th, 2002 or America. Odu America no kita Muslim name into ye born back. Eso mre UK. Ye born back no, ye didn't do hit through. Na MI5 if we kita 2 twa no. Adeya or ye suspected terrorists and sembebre. After kwa de kuhwehwe mu kra na ye so no kra no, ya report say wo from time ye wo no 6 months later no wu ye. O ma me na report there for no into akoyi obi identity and sembebre. Me so mu prosecute no. Na eme say yede ne ko ide ne be ya na em say kan ko nya accident. Kan ko nya accident omo Naija also losing memory. On be ne den also losing memory on kai hwe. Enti na just akoy foolish case. Ano the case ne bre ne passport mo fama no so mo fama no. O de ba ye no mo twea mo de the passport ma no because they were not able to establish conclusively SSC and SSC. Enti identity theft is there. And it's not say I'm a passport for no so aya wilder. Bibia or more check Nancy am case am yema will be. Ema papa ni ye DNA. Ye man ye ni interview. Just say dress on ye bio ye nima sa. It take 1 year.
Wow.
Akra no Ghana, Benjamin Adom, akra nsa kan passport or deba. Papa ni can ba mu ye ebu. Ana so mo ba mu. Because sometimes when you have to do these things, say enye ampa obembebu be Ghana. Say ampa, you fight to the end. Eti be mane ha okra we de eyekuku wa to agini mu kra.
Oh, medasi.
Why you be yi? Okay,
God
that's
bless
it.
you for
Thank you.
your time also.
No problem. Bye. One more friend, I'm also betting your friend. They say one number. And you know, you take you 2 phone calls me. Now you're from around the way. Hello, 774.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Pachodini Senaka Sefrey.
That's all being the Adjoa Casafi Birmingham.
Adjoa Birmingham, Yanko.
Well, yeah, that's a part. I'm in show, major my power. I'm in show. That's all. No question, Kakra. Question, and say, me kuna menina atina for 18 years ni. Na from Soka Kakra, Ababa Yempeme. I did a for a long time. But me got to say, there 1 year me na me 250 or ye ma me ensa. Na Palano in 17 and me 15, Kitwana in 6. Na last time say all of a sudden me too 1 year. Me letters from baby are not, and say we keep back on my address no. my council for any baby or did the Canadian. After all of a sudden, no, almost pursue me, some into a canna, coming so near to pa. And see, after 1 year, and I decided to send me for legal separation. Apart from that, and so, you were dying, I told you worry, no. Dying or no, but no, so. However, no mimi sika na yedi deposit no ti. Anka me pese me bisa se watching so which me a guide me kakra how to go about legal separation route no. Na things on dynamo to say be a friend no to say there's a term legal term here injunction I think friend injunction. And then me go through that route and that's open to me. I'm advice be regarding the law.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. I do have two things. Also, per se, legal separation. I didn't know legal separation rather than divorce.
Okay, so the main reason why is me friend counsel about death no. And almost say me proof said me ho.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
That's
the reason. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We saw a question we in the sense say many a times and refer to me be here also more separation. But meanwhile, so the divorce now pay. Because each of them have got different consequences. Legal separation, I say, wo na pese okunu no akotwa ne podua. Wonya hwe ne ti wo betimi sa de aka wo. Na boa. Enti se aware ne de egu a na wo atwa ne ti afiri so no mu say it is done. There is no way back. Aya nkrofo say aware gya ye de enye. Me de da ko meka say ye pa. Se me gya aware na se metena se na ma dwene be ye adwuma eno na me. At the end of the day, asumdwe no obi epe anigye. De awerho ene kode na bebre one de na otwe ho afiri ho. Okay. And to say, and the me culture and say, first thing that you must do, you must protect your interest in the property. How do you do this? You can make an application to the land registry. It's called Registration of Matrimonial Home Right.
Okay.
Registration of Matrimonial Home Right.
Okay.
And to all register your interest against the property now. So, or try so beton fee, and I say obey BBA. Nobody will go near it. And any dealing with the case, you will be informed before and agree to it before any deal can go on. So, for example, or the Kwakoji new loaner, and you just work consented. Or person or just work consented. And therefore, and nobody busumbia, what the Bema will be a warning. Except if man so that so, and you don't come near it. That will protect your interest. And to register and answer register now. I was starting divorce so. Aya se say be winning baby on now. But open baby to say justice and law. I'm gonna be ashamed be between pi. Aha. Yes, you could see MP area. But I'm gonna be ashamed and be smoking it out. So more into a kidney pia that first the divorce paper no. As I pay so. Now the pay so we are and crano so I'm praying so show more show ma and also so between Eddie Juma.
And no dear maybe I call the child maintenance that is a sell deducted from source.
Oh, okay. And another way to sort it out.
No, sure no cry.
Eish, no funny word. Why are they money responsible? I am many be say, oh, we don't share the money yami or hey massa. If we are so big a crab we are see yami baby ow. Force no share ba. Because no media no. Medium kasa say me oh bana so wan show ba nyame no obi ka akra ne tiri baby wan so se be wo no ana ko 2 cc na wo ye uwie ya me na mefa ho ka Debbie and very important a point of principle and no matter what has happened if we are said there ne kure ba ko pe right is right and wrong is wrong and no o kan ye unfortunately a memani bebrebe edada ma oh, would your first can fan could deposit no say a media ya would ya and so kwa no de no kwadi na akoto so e chine bi no o kan was me fie on ka say ye fie e koso pa wo law books ma there has been so many cases me many bi dey ayema. And the only way to protect yourself is to register the matrimonial home, right? Now I prepare any paper. Any cost to biana, why in care, such as home improvement. Nina church cost network who receives a copeka home. Because so start financial relief and answer ancillary relief. A honor every bear you say a dan winnie shabia or the home. But if the property was bought during the course of the marriage, by virtue of the marriage, you have a share in it. By living there and cooking for him, ironing his shirts, or ye kotokan kai mani bedini kuntum rain quining in ano. Ninyanano, a part of the deal. And therefore, our Arabia Yawari, some more certificates. Certificates in our no. And two certificates in India. Because our Ghana, it is also recognized in this country. Okay. And there's a case be offending Maccabi and Maccabi. Ghana niya okoware Irish ni a omuti krumwa. E to de no. Ave de bema ni say o da bi Ghana ware na kra nyim tumu krumwa. And a court of appeal say it does not matter where you got married. So o ware was Zimbabwe and ase Jalalabad. Na say omumra na omuji tumu ho a sa so ne se beji atum. Enti no there's been
they are marrying into but I'm sure say
because rental income no a source of income. No also share and he say mortgage near £10. That's why they rented £20. £10 na eka actually ni no obefiaba. So the local court for financial relief. Okay. Cause also was share and he says sisi na nkrofo sisi nkrofo no enye me ade me mpa na sisi o. Me no ya ade na me so there £1 me tab me so a se me mo mpa me di kra na me de bema because me mpa sisi na me mpa edin bone. Na emom se pese me ma £1 na be pay £2 dey am no benya problem. Because that was not the agreement. It be media no. It and very very important. As a BBC a idea echoes your community, and I'm very grateful. Say we're building up the courage to call the show and ask these questions because so many people are in the same dilemma. I'm no motivo occasion down for yeah. German in Kawaii, we do yeah, because when you brady, hey, when you am brady, I be
exactly.
Yeah, it's your right, and therefore don't sit there and sleep. So again, ananumbi, omujeja omosa. Remember this is see omosa. Me ashta bonti minimum be pa bema or marco homa. Negiri kojine gaso echo bre. Ovia was a ben no aduane. Now what we aduane in the crown, o me di crown just was a panacho. No, it's one water damning. Oh yes. And to me, the moon, when you who sang many people. Oba besia kojine gaso. I get Juma pesca. Ovia was a ben no aduane. Said you say you are comakra umubi. What to damn you say? And I would see Munu. Bedi di crack is your power cho. What you can say ni buofu. Na me yere panacho. Hey! Tribu deni. Oh, David. Ebi mo nya ne fodo do.
That's a part. That's a patrol. Which me I fell offline. Na yet before.
Yes. A better Monday. Na weekend idi ma so ayeshi me tankwa da baby kra. Why? Tu do from Monday. Mebwa ami atwini. Why? Then you're right to be our Sabeka. Okay. Yes, so yeah, that was a P. So it's also France who bet in your friend. I join a friend, you know, I join Birmingham. I join a new way, a moment. Fashion obey day. Yes, also bet in your friend number near 0753896959. You take your last call and you pay Medium run away. You can say upon 1 o'clock, Pepe, say more quarter passer. Not just say, you did not ever the way. This is Justice and Law Solicitors. We are based at Unit 35B49 Efra Road, Brixton, London. Mama boat will be a Chia. Dada boat, also a Chia. British accent, on Miami Bra, Ashtown, Boga, also Chia. Scotland, Namo, baby, will be a Chia. Papa Kwame, also baby will be a Chacha, Rebecca Yamua, also ye chow, Abigail Johnny, also baby will be a Chacha. Bracken, no, ye Tio, baby will be a Chacha. Mr. PC, baby will be a Chacha. Thank you for tuning in. Mr. Samuel Boatin, Ghana Barco, also ye Chacha. Madam Helena Panford. Also, baby, I will be a chachao. Northern Ireland, baby, I will be a chachao. Gina Edusei, baby, I will be also see a chachao. Mr. Tabiri, good afternoon to you. Mr. Akwesi Anochi, baby, I will be a chachao. Nana Ado, Edu Dankwa Ekufu Ado. Munina Mutieti, a chachao, baby, I will be a. So, for your 1 minute, pet, Mr. Ishan, also so ubitimi idea afraid. Yamfa nyumi emfem na afi yehu de ye call baby. Hello. Hello.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Nampacho di ni sana kasa free.
Nampacho me coffee because of lating.
Coffee lating. Hey, and your din.
Lating.
And your ya di odin dia no odin coffee aya coffee lating. Ya chia. Lating before the song, before the lating. Ya chia. Okay, young coffee lating.
Well, I sure pa ni ma pa woody. It's na it you. For the Ghanaian community and the general people as a whole.
Yes.
Now, we did not, but we said we said something very quickly.
Okay.
Now, we said, Obi, or your midwife, or Ghana, is there any scheme BR or person of that that is so cool or bet me abana?
I obey me, sir, health worker scheme visas, no. Obey me idea. I contacted one of these employers or agencies who will be able to get her a job and give her a sponsorship license. Now, with me, I don't remember when I did this show. Maybe so many names of some agencies. Ebegu, board. And she occurred back about 8 weeks ago. Programs are now. Ubon say actual tier 5 visas. So tier 5 visas are a bill of some of these agencies. On fair now because on send this CV or send this CV bar on the interview or maybe that's in any one on the man certificate of sponsorship. Yeah, the money we are not for free justice and Lonya Kojifis and Naman no it's media.
Okay. All right. And I wait there, but you're because me now before you know, among you do what dance here. Una wabu mama omunsa de kan nia on krata nyina nti no eye den a bacho betimeka
enye den yedamase pa it's in your continual referral justice and law ankanyamo anka meye de me da obi biara se any your continual support and for your love yedamase pe coffee latin on say na afre eje ne de no what can you be and come on us yeah boy say that yes you have to let education to be fun say that what can you be come on us
sorry, I don't know soja lafia de. I don't know soja lafia de.
You can only get this from Justice and Law Solicitors, Education and Entertainment. Open come on, I said, and you're not born. Nice weekend. Lucy, I'm not wanting. Thank you, and I said, Mr. Esha, thank you, and I said, Coffee, mommy, thank you, and I said, Benjamin, no signs. Thank you, and I said, Nana Akosia, Jan Kroma, for it at the first. By Kawanas. Yes. Say This was brought to you by Justice and Law Solicitors, Unit 35B, 49 Efra Road, Brixton, London, SW2, 1BZ. Yes. You have been coming as an eye. Madam Pamford, Yacha, or Ricodo, and from afraid, and from afraid. TV wine, Pano wine. Yes. Batienka, Nasa Batienka next week. You must have a beer. Midinamija, Midinara. Nanaba, the Yawabiara, the Chachia. Uncle Joe is in you. Amadoria, the Chachia. Shawanas, say This is Justice and Law Solicitors. We bring you entertainment, education and entertainment. That's right. Then, more power. Next week, be back again. Until then, take care. Look after yourself. Look after each other. Be positive about life. Life, self-preservation must always come first. Uncle A.B. Princeton. What have you got in shout out? Times like this. Only Justice and Law can bring you this. We educate you, and then we will entertain you. And then we end it for prayers, for divine intervention, for divine protection. We thank God for today. We thank God for the gift of life. We ask God for His protection. And we thank you all for your continuous support. When you hear the ambulance sirens, it's Justice and Law Solicitors thanking you. We thank you for your support for all these years, for your continuous support, and for your continual love. May the Lord Almighty God bless you, protect you all. Until we meet again next week, God bless you. See ya. God bless you.